Sometimes you hear it said that faith is a gift, and I think that's partly true. There are stories in Christian history when someone's life is turned completely upside down. It wasn't part of their plan. The Holy Spirit often surprises us. Perhaps the most famous story is the conversion of St. Paul. He was on a journey towards Damascus, and he saw a light surround him that seemed to come from heaven. He fell on his face, and he heard the voice of Jesus speaking to him. This man was an enemy of the church, but through this unexpected meeting with Jesus, he was given the gift of Christian faith. But sometimes faith feels more like a choice than a gift, and I actually think this is more common. We can see a lot of signs, but we need to say yes. We need to take a step of faith. And in fact, God invites us. He never forces our hand. He appeals to our freedom. My favourite image of this is a painting by Caravaggio called The Calling of St. Matthew. Jesus is on the far right of the picture, pointing to a group of tax collectors. And Matthew, as I understand it, is the young man sitting at the table counting his coins. His shoulders are hunched over, his head is bent down. He's half heard the invitation, but he's still lost in his own thoughts. He doesn't want to look up. He's not sure where it's all going to take him. It's as if the whole world is waiting to see how he'll respond. There are moments when faith requires a choice, when you need to make a commitment despite your uncertainties. It's the same in many areas of life. If you like someone and you want to get to know them better, you have to take the risk of actually talking to them. If you want to get a job, you need to take the risk of putting in the application and then the risk of going to the interview. These are calculated risks. It's not about blind faith. I remember taking a step of faith when I was 17. I'd been reading a bit about Christianity. I'd gone to church once or twice with some friends, but I was definitely an observer and not a believer. I used to sit on the back row of the church with my arms crossed, determined not to get too involved. But then one evening at home, something in me felt drawn to pray. I certainly wasn't comfortable, but it felt like a risk that needed to be taken. And I remember actually saying, "Oh God, I'm not sure if you exist, but if you do, please help me." Now that might sound illogical, but I don't think it was. The reality was, I half believed, and with that half believe, I made half a prayer. It was a really important step. Something changed for me. It was as if it unlocked a door from the inside, and over the next few weeks and months, that door slowly began to open. We are all invited to take a step of faith, to believe in a loving God, to believe in His Son, Jesus Christ, to believe in the gift of the Holy Spirit who has been given to us. Now, you might not feel ready for this, but I'm simply inviting you at the very least to be open to the idea of taking a step in faith. What does this actually mean? What does it look like? It might be to share your questions with a Christian friend, to read the Bible, to visit the church, to learn more about the Christian faith. These are little steps. They can be signs of faith. Or it might be to make a prayer of faith, even a very simple one. You could do this right now in your heart, or maybe later when you're at home. To say something like, "Dear Jesus, I believe in you," or "Jesus, please help me," or "Dear God, please give me the gift of your Holy Spirit." I promise you to take a small step in faith, to say a simple prayer like this. It will make a real difference. It will allow God to work in your life in a new way. It could be the beginning of the most amazing adventure of faith.